Hey guys, Tamara Thompson here, and I'm super excited. So we're going to dive right in. I have an amazing guest with me today, Amanda Dake. She's an amazing marketing expert. She's one of those people that you can go to that can see the overall vision for your business. She's been known for, helping like oversee funnels and things like that, but it's so much more. Like you just talk to her, she's the most intelligent woman that I know in this space. So I wanted to give her a shout out and thank her for being here today. So thank you, Amanda, for being here.
That's so kind.
Oh, you are so intelligent, and you don't give yourself enough credit for what you do and who you help in this space. And those that have the opportunity to work with you are so blessed to be able to do so. And so I'm excited because we're going to talk a little bit more. Obviously, we're in this different time frame right now with a lot of uncertainty, and we're going to really deep dive into a little bit more of options. We can kind of go off of it a little bit, but like how we can actually help serve some of those brick and mortar businesses and their mindset during the coronavirus. How can they switch their revenue and go online? And so that's one of the things that I'd like to kind of pinpoint today is you actually, I saw a post that you did last week where you helped someone in the fitness industry kind of shift, somebody that had a following, but also had clients and customers in that sense. And I think that we also work with a lot of brick and mortar industries and stuff too, and they're really looking for that guidance right now. How do I shift, Tamara? Yeah. How do I do this? Because we work with people, in the chiropractic space and, people that have those studios that may have shut down or something like that. But so can you tell me a little bit about your story and background, how you got really excited about working in just business in general?
Back in my previous life, I was a science teacher, and in 2011, I shifted out of that. And in 2014, I found ClickFunnels. 2015, I signed up to become a certified partner. And back then we were invited to actually go work with Russell and the team and learn the platform and all of strategies, all of his methods and everything. And so really that was the kicker for me, is getting involved with Russell Brunson from the get-go. And I've basically taken my love for learning, my gift of teaching, and created an amazing business out of it. Really, all in the name of service of others. And that's really where my heart is always, is just really trying to make sure that people are living their best lives possible in their work life as well as their personal life. We spend so much time working, and I want it to be something that is fulfilling and makes a great living and impacts people. And the fact that I get to help others do that is I'm fulfilling my purpose by doing that. So it's pretty awesome.
I love that. Yeah, we both have similar values, and being able to help serve people first, like providing that value, making those meaningful introductions where you see fit, and just allowing people to help their businesses grow. Yeah. Because the more that you give, the more that it comes back, and the more people actually see that as well. And I think, we're in this time where some people are starting to realize that with some of, the digital space and products that your service and my service have to offer. People are, understanding that they need to work with us. They need to actually do some shifting and get some consulting on where they should go with their business. Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about how you helped this fitness business this last week? How you just were like, boom, you dove in. You're like, this is what you need to do. Your brain was just on fire. You're amazing. So I'd love to hear a little bit more how you helped that business shift.
Yeah, that's great. One thing I'm going to preface this with is that I do this for people even whenever the world is not shut down.
I should have pointed that out.
So
this was just a bonus.
Yeah, I work with people that really maybe feel like they want to expand their reach outside of their brick and mortar walls, right? And get their message out to the masses. They want to get out of the time for money one-to-one trap that they put themselves in, not by any fault of their own, but just is what happens, and get out and be able to reach more people and create more freedom for themselves. So obviously right now we have a much larger reason to do this because the brick and mortars are kind of closed down for the most part. And so that takes me back to what I helped with last week. It was actually my brother. And he's a coach for Orange Theory, which if you know me at all, like Orange Theory and Champagne are like my top two things that I love. And so not being able to go and get that daily workout is one thing. Whenever it's your livelihood, not being able to go and give those workouts is another. And so we've had to figure out, like, okay, his passion for personal training and fitness and nutrition, how can we pivot that into something online that people can still access and benefit from, even because, you know, people are stuck at home and they're trying to figure out like how not to gain the Corona 19 or whatever, like the freshman 15, right? So basically we've just taken his expertise, which is personal training and physical activity. He's created some videos. We put together, you know, an opt-in page so we could start building that email list and collecting, you know, people that are interested in learning from him and training with him. Put some things into a membership area, which I built out in ClickFunnels, but you could really do this in other platforms as well. And as of yesterday, I think he had 125 people already in and doing the workouts with him. And so it's really just a way to help keep his mind occupied and know like his own sanity, like still being able to contribute his genius to others. It wasn't really about making extra income or replacing his income right now. This was a longer term strategy where, because we're not going out of the gate going, okay, I got these workouts, come and spend money and get access to them. No, he's coming from service. While we are asking for an email address and a phone number, you can access this stuff for free. And so that's where we will then pivot that whenever we're ready and has a full, robust membership area to then start charging for that. So it's going to evolve over time, but the main point of it is we took massive action and got it up quickly. And we fulfilled a need. We filled a need in the industry right where he is right now to help position himself as a community leader in his own zone of genius. So the same thing can be done for chiropractors, for dentists, even for physical therapists, all these different things. I had a conversation yesterday with someone about, or real estate agents, right? Like, what is a real estate agent going to do right now? Nobody's buying or selling houses. You can't go out and look at them. And even though rates are going to be really great, you're still not doing that. So we talked about hosting virtual events, right? Virtual kind of like, so for a real estate agent, for example, getting some of their mortgage contacts together, some interior designers together, some landscape designers together. People are at home right now. And how, like, I know that I have looked around and go, I wonder if I should move the couch over there instead of like, because we're just sitting there, right? So
I literally rearranged my entire dining area this week, just saying.
That's what I'm saying. So if you are a real estate agent and you're wondering like how to stay relevant and how to stay in front of people, it's not about making money all the time. It's about being of service, right? And they're going to remember that you were contributing and filling that gap for them right now. And so later, whenever they're ready to make that move financially, they're going to come to you first. But yeah, how great would it be to be able to offer designer tips on a live call like this to your audience as a real estate agent? It's just thinking out of the box and figuring out how can you stay front of mind? How can you, still serve people and stay in this kind of contribution momentum, give and take place so you can survive this thing. It's not just about making money. It's not just about replacing income. It's about the long game.
And you can go above and beyond for, your clients, even like when we're working with our clients and they're sending us content, which is another way that people can get more visible online too. They can build out those membership areas where it's an exclusive experience to videos, but also people have the opportunity to be seen on things like YouTube and things like that, and get that content seen and do more live streams like this and repurpose that for that. And that's what we create for, our client experience is just massive visibility with a lot of different micro content. So you're just being seen. And right now it's that time to be seen because everybody's stuck at home, if they're following directions and, quarantining. And they just have to be able to think about, like, what are you exerting your time to when you actually are home? Are you taking advantage of creating video content? Where is it going to be? Are you going to create this platform? Are you going to post it on YouTube? Are you doing live streams in a Facebook group? How can you get that engagement with people as well? And so what's unique, so yesterday I had a call with actually one of our chiropractic clients, and I said, you know what, I want to have our SEO team basically jump in there and start doing some research. And so we started reaching out to other influencers right now, because the influencers are also bored and stuck at home. So people want to be on live streams. They want to be on podcasts. So literally the first 3 that we reached out to, you come out of a place of service and value for them first. And you say, I'd love to invite you to be on our client's show. And they're like, yes, 3 out of 3. Yes. First 3. Like, and then people have the time. So people have to think about how they can connect people during this time too. So why not get that content out there? Why not create this community aspect or this membership platform, or utilize, YouTube and podcasts, and just get yourself out there? Because a lot of opportunities for PR too. Getting on shows because it's virtual, so it's just different things that people need to think about on that sense of that. I do have a question though. What would you do for some of the businesses? I know like some of the businesses, even chiropractic, they have specific rules and regulations with what you can actually put out there for that. Like, do you have any thoughts on like creative ways? We were trying to brainstorm on that yesterday a little bit, because they have specific rules that they can't do this for.
Different chiropractors do have kind of some different specialties, which I didn't know that until I had a chiropractor client, and they were able to help people with all kinds of things, and children and babies. So depending on your own specialty in your chiropractic practice, right now, there's a need for allergy treatments and allergy relief, right? We're entering spring here and everything's blooming.
I know, I need it.
So if you have chiropractic techniques that can help people with kind of some of their allergy symptoms, that would be an amazing thing to talk about and teach and offer that kind of as a service. Right now, also, people aren't probably quite as active as they were before all of this started, and mobility is a factor. So if you have some mobility techniques, right, some stretches, some movements that people can make, depending what age group you like to work with. If you like to work with athletes, obviously your content is going to be different than if you work with senior citizens. Their senior citizens right now are really not, they're not encouraged to be getting out at all. And so if you have some techniques or some things that they can do from home to help keep their mobility up and that's going to overall like help their wellness stay on track, then that's some different things that you can offer too. So it doesn't have to be like full on chiropractic treatments. Just take some of your chiropractic, ideals, right, philosophies, and apply them to the ideal people that you love to work with. How can you serve them right now? What kind of questions are people reaching out to you to ask? Or can you go to your audience and ask them, what do they need help with? That's something that's right there, easy to get 5 to 10 plus ideas on what you can offer to your audience. Just ask them what they want. Like, what kind of challenges are they facing? What kind of obstacles do they have with their days or with what's going on right now? And the possibilities are really endless. Now, are you going to make money off of it? I cannot answer that right now, but that's not really the goal. If you're really just wanting to stay front of mind and serve your people where you can serve them. So whenever this all gets lifted and we're able to get back to normal, they're going to remember you, and they're going to come in and say, man, thank you so much for doing that. It really helped my mindset, or it really helped my back, or, I was laid up on the couch and I wasn't able to walk for a couple of days until I watched your videos and did your stretches. Like, whatever it is, they're going to remember it. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't create these programs and these memberships to make a living, because you definitely can. So if you also are a business owner that has had this idea on a program or an online course or anything, right now is the absolute best time to start putting that together. Because what else are you doing? Like, let's do it. And I want to reiterate this: people are buying right now. And
I think that's the misconception people have right now. I know I've spoken to a few people in different industries, and I understand that there's loss of jobs and things like that, but the mindset is really where it's at too. Like the ones that are saying that they're either downgrading or offering their services for free and things like that. Like you don't need to offer your services for free just because there's things, going downward. It doesn't mean that people aren't willing to buy and invest in you or your service, because they're looking for leadership as well as expertise right now, because they want to continue to thrive. So they're looking for the experts and the programs and the services that they're going to help their business, because they don't want to go under. It's really a mindset thing at this point where people are literally like, almost like they're giving up on themselves. Like, yeah, it's sad, but you have to, I told you this off the call, but I've seen a lot of it's like, there's 3 different biases I've been seeing. It's like the overly optimistic, the ones that I'm probably in the middle, where it's like ride the wave and see where things go and shift where you need to. And then the fear of state of fear, basically. Yeah. And
I'm on the roller coaster, and I go through all of those in an hour sometimes.
Roller coaster. Yeah. But yeah, and we've all gone there because we've had some sort of fear strike in, people that might not be taking this as serious. People are out playing at the parks and things like that. And it's kind of eerie, yeah. Like I went to the store before all this kind of went over, and it was just interesting. But my same time, I'm looking at people and I'm thinking to myself, why is that person going to the store for like one item? Or one gal was in there with her stroller pushing around 4 kids. And I'm like, maybe she's a single mom. I'm just trying to think in my head, why is she subjecting her kids to all of these people in this store? I'm paying attention to sounds, like, maybe I'm like, I hear people sneezing, coughing.
Yeah.
Like, why am I, things doubled up on some stuff. And I was like, okay, I already work from home, so it's fine for me. I could be stuck in my house for 6 months, where most people just go crazy because they're not used to this entrepreneurial life. And so just being able to give people sanity as well. So I think them creating these courses, these products, these membership sites, putting video content out there, recording podcasts, whatever it is, getting on shows, that it passes the time, but it also helps you build your business and authority. Like I said, it's those people that are consistent right now that are going to be remembered, and you're going to be top of mind as soon as it starts going back up, no matter how long it takes for that. But it's the consistency that helps drive right now. So
I want to say too, about back to selling.
Yes.
When somebody buys my product right now, that allows me to go buy something else from someone else, which then allows them to do the same thing. And so if everyone just stops spending, the entire system breaks. So it doesn't mean just come out of the gate and just start pitching all the time. You shouldn't do that anyway, regardless of what's going on in society. But that's how I see it. Like if somebody wants to come to me and get help and they're ready to move forward and take some action, then I'm definitely going to sell them or, offer them the opportunity to come into my programs.
Yeah.
That's only going to allow
you're helping them in their time of need, and they see your service as valuable. Same with us, we're still selling our program, and a lot of people are like, this is the best time for this, no matter what right now. Like, why not create content, and why not help serve these people to build out something that can, launch in the next 30 days. It might even be sooner. I know that you helped your brother kind of skyrocket that in a really quick time.
Really fast.
Yeah. And that gives people hope too, that they can actually build something online too, that they just need to hire the right expert on that side that actually has the background in it. Because there's a lot of people online that are experts in per se, but I know you and I both have really extensive backgrounds in what we teach and what we provide as value for that too. So it's really being able to do your due diligence while you're online too, because I'm sure a lot of people are getting caught up on not understanding the online space and just seeing things that might be kind of like shiny objects.
I totally agree. It's really important to vet the people that you end up joining their programs or hiring. One thing I'll say too, I helped yesterday a woman, her entire business was around live events. What are you going to do?
There's a lot of people there that are just like, I literally had a message yesterday like, hey, Tamara, do you know how you can help so-and-so get on more stages? I'm like, first off, nobody's having events right now physically, but there's definitely ways to optimize this virtually. But go ahead and continue your thought.
No, so we brainstormed together for a while, and I just was able to ask her questions and position things in a way that she hadn't seen it or thought of it yet. So she can take her zone of genius, her expertise with live events, and figure out how to pivot that into working with our current situation. It doesn't mean she's leaving behind her programs and our other services, but right now, what can she do to be relevant to people? You can't talk about filling your live events. You can't talk about what to do, like to host your own live event, because we don't know when that's all going to start picking back up again. Mm-hmm. So what she can do then is just start talking about virtual events or her processes around things, systems and organization and all these different ways. She hadn't thought about that. She was just stuck in this, I do live events, and I can't do live events. And so we're able to have a conversation and move out of that. And now she's on the path to create something where she can contribute and stay front of mind. And who knows? So now she's going to create a virtual event type product to complement her live event product. So it's amazing what happens whenever you just start having those powerful conversations with people that can see things differently than you can. You're sometimes just a little too close to what you do, and you're stuck. And so it's really nice. I love being able to be the catalyst to move them out of that space and to start thinking differently.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity right now. One of my friends, he just had basically brought in a bunch of different online leaders, digital marketers, and thought leaders into one meeting, and there was like over 40 of them on a Zoom call of a lot of the influencers. A lot of my friends were in there too, and so just being part of that, seeing that is like people are coming together to create these experiences. So more people are in tune with wanting to help these people that are having these virtual events too. They want to be a part of it. They want to help share it. They want to help put in their expertise, as well. So, it's cool to be able to put something together. People were doing online summits for a long time, but I think there's an opportunity of growth of actually being able to put on actual live events. So people are interacting with the people right then and there. That connection that's so key with those, Zoom calls, and be able to answer questions is so much more powerful than just going through some of the pre-recorded training. Not saying that that's, not something that works still, but it's like, I think those live experiences daily, you could set it up where you put that guest in there, and you know how this works, but I think it's so much more powerful when you can have the opportunity for your guests to engage with the audience.
Absolutely. During that time. And so that takes me to, I used to do finish your funnel workshops. They were 2-day live events where we come together and we basically just get your stuff done, right? There's so many people that just they just spread it out over months and months and months. So I had the idea to do a virtual finish your funnel workshop, basically kind of like what you're talking about, like sign into Zoom. I'm going to be there hanging out for 4 hours. You're going to finish your funnel. And whenever you come across a question like, oh, what do you think I should do here? Or how do I get this button to do this? Then guess what? I'm right there to answer it, and you can keep going instead of just getting stuck and going to search out YouTube or whatever. And so if you have an online course or something where you help people actually start to finish, do something, you could offer a 1 to 2 day virtual live session where people can even pay to play, right? They can pay to be a part of this. And you can be available to answer questions and to help them get through whatever material or course you have. Maybe you help people build chat bots, right? Maybe your course teaches messenger bots. Well, how about if you were available for a 4-hour window on a Friday to say, let's finish your bot? And you're just there to help them finish that thing up and get it launched. So think about anything that you do in your current business that you could just be available online to help keep that momentum with people so they can actually check some of these things off their lists, right? It doesn't have to be just in the internet marketing space. I'm just throwing out ideas off the top of my head right now, but we all have time, and luckily we mainly all have internet. So like, let's bring it together and get some things going. And like you said, there is so much opportunity right now. Let's take a step back from that and pick something and go with it. Instead of swirling around in all the thoughts of possibility, pick one thing and go for it. And now's the best time to do it. Maybe you have wanted to have your own online membership or online course or program. Maybe you have wanted to launch that lead generation campaign to start capturing email addresses. Maybe you do want a chatbot for your business. Maybe you do want a YouTube channel. Whatever it is, pick one thing and focus on it at least for a week, right? And then move on. If it's not working for you, or you're just too busy and you like to have other things going on, then add something to it.
Who's busy right now? I was like, everybody can do this.
Yeah, but pick one thing. The possibility can be paralyzing.
Yeah. Well, and you got to think about it. So I had a conversation with my brother. He's now working from home. He lives in Boston. So him and his wife are both working from home. And we had a conversation a couple of years ago. He's like, I admire you in being an entrepreneur, because he said, I could never do it. I could never prioritize myself to work from home. So he's like, I'd probably sit there and play a video game versus like wanting to work from home. And so I thought to myself, it's like people have to discipline themselves or find ways that they can either put it on their calendar where they set a time for themselves. They put structure, like, here's your time. I'm going to be like, Wednesday, I'm going to record a batch of videos so I can get it all done, and that's it, because people kind of lose momentum at times too. But it's also hard, I guess, for people. When I heard that from him, understanding that he has a different mentality than me and drive, and when he's home, he wants to be home. And so I think people now are kind of getting stuck too. They're like, what do I do when I'm at home?
But the thing is too, there's been a lot of what I've seen from my social media is kind of like time shaming. It's like, oh, if you have time to watch Netflix, then you have time to do this. Or if you have time to do whatever, then you're not really committed to your business. Here's the deal. Yeah. And I told you this earlier when we started. First of all, I'm starting to get a little fed up with it, but nobody knows what's going on. Exactly. Nobody. Nobody can predict what's happening. Nobody know. Like, I'm in Oklahoma. We don't have like the shutdown, lockdown thing. It may be coming. It may not be. Kids may go back to school. They might not. Like, I don't know. But here's the deal. We still got to live fulfilled lives. And just like if we are not in a shutdown, you don't have to grind away making a business every single minute of every day that you're awake. Like, if you want to sit down and watch some Netflix or some Amazon Prime, do that. But guess what? Still do something every single day that contributes to somebody else. Like, go check on your neighbor, if nothing else. Like, still do something that contributes. Yeah. But take care of yourself too. I haven't seen very many people talking about self-care through my social media feeds. Being kind to ourselves through this tumultuous time.
Checking in with people that you care about, hop on a Zoom call or FaceTime with friends and family or other colleagues that you can call and say like, hey, how can I help you during this time versus it always being about business. I'm watching Hulu every day. Okay.
Yeah, why not? Enjoy this. It's not that different than my regular life. Yeah, it's not that different than an entrepreneur, like an introverted entrepreneur's regular life, except I'm not just running out to the grocery or going to the gym. Other than that, it's just pretty much life as normal. So it's just like, I don't know. I just want to hush the noise down a little bit. And that's why I say pick one thing that you want to focus on and go with it, even for just a week. And then from there, move forward. If you can. One thing that I do in my normal days, like my normal weeks, I set 3 main targets that I want to hit every week. If I'm able to hit those targets, then that allows me the freedom to choose whatever I do with the rest of my time. And maybe if that tactic's going to work for you, do it. We don't have to be, just because we have this extra downtime right now, doesn't mean we have to fill it with a bunch of stuff. Maybe we need this downtime to not fill it with extra stuff. right? I know that I have really benefited from slowing down a little bit and just really thinking about what it is that I want, what I want for my family, what I want for my business and my clients moving forward out of all of this. So I know that's a lot of thinking time, but whenever it's backed with some form of action every day, everything's going fine. As long as I can serve and help people. And like you said, I try to text at least 5 people every day, different ones, checking in on them, making sure they don't need anything. Luckily, I have some resources that if they need something, I can send it to them via Amazon or whatever, as long as it's still in stock. So it's still coming from love and service. It's just not all about business and making money all the time. So I don't know. That was a roundabout thing to say, like a little rant, a little whatever it was, but just for me, I've just needed to social media distance myself from things because
6 feet. We've got some states in between us right now.
Just shut the social media off sometimes and get off of it. Like, because after a while, it just gets a little overwhelming and hearing everybody's got an opinion. And I don't know. So if I can help a couple of people every day, whether it's answer some questions for them, I have a Facebook group, so I'm able to go in there and be available. I have an email list, so I'm still doing that. It's kind of business as normal, except for my own personal side of things. I'm not just like pitching stuff all the time, like to buy this or buy that. But you know what? I see other people still offering their programs and services. I'm not offended by it whatsoever because it's what we need to continue going. And right now is a great time to learn something new, to implement something new, or to improve on stuff that you already have. I go through my programs that are already existing and I improve on them all the time. And so now it's just another opportunity to take some time and go, you know what, I really want to change that email sequence around, or, oh, I really wanted to create an extra PDF for this lesson in my program or whatever. So whenever I'm able to I have this space now to create and not have to be so busy all the time. It's really, really been nice.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you just coming on here and just sharing a little bit more about what's going on, what you're seeing in the space too, and how some people can shift if they need to. I know you have a Facebook group and some other things, and we'll put that in the description and stuff when this is released out there.
That's great.
If somebody's wanting to connect with you, if something resonated, what would be the best way to connect with you during this time? Obviously, social media.
Yeah, social media is so easy. AmandaDake.com is really simple too. If you go through that process, there's a link to book on my calendar. So, the thing is, just because where we're at right now is a great motivator to take your business online. But even when we get out of this stuff, it's still great to have an online presence. Just think, if you don't have an online presence right now, if you had started the process of having an online presence, whatever that looks like for your business, then you would already be ahead of the game. You would be able to stay in touch with your client base, checking on them, offering them services, planning a fun party at your business after this is over. Like, who knows what you could be doing if you already had started. But if you haven't started, now's the perfect time to go ahead and jump in on the online game.
Well, think about all the people that you can connect to and reach right now. And then when people like your client, when they do go back into like live events, and I go back into live events, I stopped planning my annual event because I was like, I don't know what's going on, and I can put it there, but most likely it's postponed for, out till, 2021 at this point, because of it's so uncertain. But like, the building the connections now in the online space, like those people, you have the opportunity to grow with people right now and become more familiar. But it just, once we do get back into hey, we can go out into these events and meet up with people and face to face and actually be within 6 feet. You know, it's a great opportunity, and that's just going to boom. People are going to want to be out there going to events. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you so much just for joining us today and just setting that in there. And anybody that's watched this or watches the replay or hears the podcast or anything like that, please reach out to Amanda Dake. She's got a great podcast out there too. She's very informative, very intelligent. I love listening to all of her shows myself. So I just love, you just always put me at peace too. So with your knowledge, and I just appreciate you so much.
Thanks.
So
Appreciate you too.
Oh, thank you. We'll see you guys soon.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. And thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys taking time to check this out. For those of you that feel inspired, want to subscribe and ring the bell, go ahead and do so, and definitely check out more videos just like this one over here. Tap the screen, and I'll see you next time.